Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Assalamu alaikum, and a very warm welcome to PTV World. You watching World This Morning alongside Shahzad Hassan Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that everybody out there is looking after themselves in these testing times of the pandemic COVID-19. And we hope that you're actually extending a hand of help to everybody who's out there, who surround you every single day. But before, ladies and gentlemen, I say anything, I think today I really need to reiterate that it is a very important day in the history of Pakistan. It is a black day, it is a sad day, and why is it so? I need to show you something. हमें दुश्मन के बच्चों को पढ़ाना है. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed it holds a very strong message as well, but at this particular point of time, for all of those parents who are out there who do still miss their kids as well, or their parents for that matter, we are with them, and we are with them. We are going to be with them. We are going to stay with them, and we will make sure that they're not going to, obviously, there's this void cannot be filled by anybody else's presence, and every parent needs their kids as well, or every kid for that matter need their parents as well, ladies and gentlemen. But we really need to remember all of this and build up on this as well, because Pakistanis are a very resilient nation. And ladies and gentlemen, we will never let any other terrorist act harm our sovereignty, no matter what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, I think over here on this day, we really need to appreciate our armed forces as well, who took out all of those terrorists who actually brought this day upon us as well and unleashed their wrath. And ladies and gentlemen, to be very honest, I think that, these were the days when Pakistan actually got together as well and made sure that, that such an incident is never going to happen with our kids or elders as well. But we really need to build up on it. And so we are, in almost every field now we see, alhamdulillah, over here in Pakistan. Earlier there were no cricket teams who would love to come and play in Pakistan. Now they're coming back. Every other international activity has resumed in Pakistan. We have changed the way people have looked towards Pakistan as well. And I think that the credit goes to the entire nation for all of those people who've been working to project the right image of Pakistan every single day. And we really need to pay them rich tribute. We really need to pay rich tribute to all of our martyrs as well. And we really need to build up on it as well. And so, keeping that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to share some success stories today as well, where Pakistanis have made sure that they're going to bring in something new, something very original, be entrepreneurial, and make sure that at every front, may it be technology, may it be anything else, that at every front, Pakistanis will be there and they'll make sure that the world recognizes how Pakistan is progressing. So today, ladies and gentlemen, speaking about what we had in our heads yesterday, and we kind of contemplated upon it as well. We're lucky that we have some amazing guests over here in the studios with us as well. But as a matter of fact, what we need to realize is that this is a global age where everybody is trying to be totally dependent on whatever the technology has to offer, because technology is that lucrative for everybody out there. New business ideas, new platforms, making sure that there are bridges within people as well. Because when we talk about that this is a global era, we really need to make sure that everybody is in connection with everybody outside Pakistan as well. So we really need to be in harmony. We really need to be in sync. So what we did was that we have actually invited some amazing people over here on the show today who made sure that, no matter what happens, Pakistan needs to come up with their own product line. Pakistan needs to come up with their own content. Pakistan needs to come up with their own platforms where people can come, socially interact, or social media for that matter. Now, for example, if I tell you about Netflix, or if I tell you about Prime Video, all of these platforms will offer you a lot of different content. But it was very hard for us to kind of see that if there was content, or if there was a platform where there was all Pakistani content for itself as well and for the people to consume. So this gentleman came in, he stepped up. He's one of those people who went on his entrepreneurial ventures in a way where he wanted to promote Pakistan, where he wanted to promote the content of Pakistan, where he wanted to make sure that Pakistans have their own video platform where people can go watch whatever they want to watch. What did he do is something which we are going to unfold in the next few coming minutes as well. So ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by the Chief Executive Officer of Rinstra Technology. He is Mr. Amir Jahangir. Hello, Assalamu Alaikum, good morning.
Assalamu Alaikum.
How are you, Amir bhai?
Very well.
It's wonderful to have you, and it's wonderful to actually be in conversation with somebody who thinks this way, that that we are consuming so much of foreign content that finally there's somebody who's emerged in a way that, okay, you know what, this is fine, and since we live in a global age, there's no harm in consuming foreign content as well, but let's have a platform which is the origin is from Pakistan as well, where the content is from Pakistan as well, and let's share it with the world. So first of all, share your vision with us, and then we'll continue asking questions.
Well, Rinstra is Pakistan's first digital platform.
All right.
And the reason to establish this, to create this, was that whenever we see Pakistan's story globally,
Yes.
there's always a tilt to the other than the reality.
Exactly.
And that is because the editorial control on most of the platforms around the world is somewhere in the region, or maybe in the West.
Or maybe in the hands of the people who really didn't had a good idea about Pakistan or Pakistanis.
Yes. So what we did, we created this platform for the emerging filmmakers, content creators, to come on this platform, showcase their work, and then monetize on this as well. So it creates a new breed of media entrepreneurs, content creators, who can showcase their work to the world.
So basically, the ideology behind Rinstra is that that you're actually enabling people to become financially independent by creating content.
Yes.
And that content obviously needs to be loved by their audiences as well, which is great. But why in the first place you thought about such a platform?
One, that is the image of Pakistan globally, but then there was also the issue of content diversity in the Pakistani media. So we see dramas, films on a very particular theme. So we wanted to discuss, we wanted to encourage media diversity, content diversity, so people can have more variety on that as well.
Exactly. That's wonderful that you are thinking this way, but it's easier said than done as well. So now let's come down to, from when the idea was conceived and where it is in the pipeline right now, or are we just ready to kind of see Rinstra doing wonderful things for us as well?
Well, the idea was conceived at a platform called DICE
All right.
Foundation, where they incubated the idea, and then we started working on this in March this year.
All right.
And we are about to launch this on the 22nd of December this year.
So on 14th of March, you kind of started working on it, and by 22nd of December, you'll be releasing it. It'll be launched. It'll be fully operational, and people will be able to see whatever they want to see, and that too from Pakistani mindset and by Pakistani content creators.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You truly deserve a big round of applause as well.
Thank
I
you.
think it's a great initiative. Thank you very much for thinking for all of those Pakistani creators so that they can get a platform. Because I think this is one way to look at it, ladies and gentlemen, because whenever we talk about content, we do have a lot of talented people, but one way or the other, they unfortunately do not get into the right hierarchy where they're not in conversation with people from big channels as well. And so obviously their content is still on the table or on the shelf or in a USB device, and nobody has seen that. So what is your policy of purchasing the content? Because you will be purchasing that content. That's one way of monetizing. Other is I'm making a video, it will be on your Reinstra platform, and then you will be paying me for whoever is going to view it, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's how it is. But what is your criteria of purchasing content?
Well, it's very simple. You can pitch your idea or a concept with us, and
Alright.
then we can work with you to do the to develop this, and then help you in funding your project for the production.
Wow.
Meanwhile, some of the leading media personalities in Pakistan are with us as an advisory role. So we mentor you as well. So like Hasina Moin is part of our advisory board. So she mentors in script writing.
All right.
Then Mehreen Jabbar is also part of our board. So she advises you in the production process.
All right.
So it's just not the production or buying. It's a complete ecosystem.
All right. And it always needs to be a complete ecosystem, because only then you will be able to have a sustainable platform, na? Where everybody's coming in, everybody's chipping in as well, and then you are helping them with, probably, okay, the idea looks great. Let's get it, get the production team on. Let's get a good director, make it, and then we'll probably go on air with it as well, which is wonderful. And so far, it sounds interesting. But here is a very different scenario, and that is that Reinstra will only have a 15-minute long video, or a 15-minute long drama, or a 15-minute long, or in fact a short film, 15-minute long short film. I think that's how it's going to be. So when are we going to directly be in competition with Netflix or Prime Video or all of these platforms, because they share videos from all over the world, while we are only focusing on Pakistani content creators and Pakistani content who will be projecting the right image of our country?
Yeah.
So how is it?
Well, now the question comes: what are the consumption patterns now?
Exactly.
In the world?
Pakistan.
Pakistan is a very young nation.
Yeah.
In terms of more than 65% population is young, below the age of 25. So we believe that the internet consumption patterns shows that the consumption of a content longer than 10 minutes is not much.
All
So
right.
the appetite for the future content, the future markets lies in the short form video making.
All right.
If you look at any of the new platforms, including Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, they all are coming to short forms.
All
YouTube also has introduced shorts.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is something where the future market, future revenue, future viewership lies actually.
Will be. Because, we've gone through that time when there were 7 seconds memes as well. People were making videos which were just 30 seconds long, and people were enjoying those videos as well. So you're very right. But in a work of such kind and such sort, there's a lot of research which is involved as well. And we have touched upon on just one aspect of it, that, okay, that the duration or the willingness of people to watch a video is probably just 10 minutes or lesser than 10 minutes as well. So what are the other aspects you've researched about and that you will be working about as well?
One is the sort of content what people want to watch.
All right.
So we commissioned a research with the leading academia in Pakistan, and we found out people want to watch something which has humor in it.
All right.
People want to watch about technology as well.
Exactly.
People are not very fond of current affairs, especially the younger generation.
The younger generation.
If you look at anyone in your household below the age of 20, they are not watching television.
Yeah, exactly.
So they are their primary source of information is their cell phone. So what I see is that most of the current affairs that we discuss in Pakistan is not talking to the younger generation.
Yeah, obviously.
So that is something where we need to fill that gap. Otherwise, they are getting their information, their content from sources outside of Pakistan.
All right. So are we trying to say that because in my household, nobody below 40 actually watches TV as well? I think I'll be honest over here. And my father is always very keen to, watch the all of that infotainment programs as well. And then he'll be like, okay, this is what I enjoy listening to. And then you will have arguments about, okay, what's going to happen next. And I think that there's no use of such an argument because you really do not play any role in it. And I do not certainly want to talk about anything which is going to just waste my time and just talking about something where you do not have any control or you're not in charge, which is good. But are we trying to say that Rinstra will only be a platform for youngsters and it will not offer anything to the elderly?
No, it will attract them because we are creating more interactive screen.
All right.
So our future productions will include where you will be participating in the storyline as well.
So is it going to be like this? I think I've seen a couple of dramas like that as well where, okay, towards the end of the episode, for example, if the name of the character is Salma, so there's going to be a question, okay, do you think Salma is going to go left or go right?
Exactly.
Is it going to be
Yes.
like that?
Yeah.
And so then will you be shooting, because it totally depends on the kind of data you're going to collect. So will you be shooting two things? Okay, what if Salma went to right? Okay, what
Yeah.
if Salma went to left?
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
going to involve a lot of cost.
It involves, it creates multiple storylines.
Yes.
But the data that it generates brings a lot of revenue as well.
All
because
right.
the choices that you make will attract the advertising as well.
Exactly, and it's wonderful. And how are you planning on advertising all of this as well? Because I think that's the most important aspect, and that's how it's going to become sustainable, no?
So our target market lives on internet.
Yes.
So it is not very feasible or not very wise to put a billboard or put an ad in the newspaper. So it's much easier to reach out to them. I'll share some data.
Sure.
We have not launched, and more than 20,000 content creators from Pakistan have signed up with us.
Wow.
So this is something that 20,000 young people in Pakistan are looking for a digital opportunity in Pakistan.
Exactly.
To create something and to monetize on that.
Wow, and it's wonderful when you have 20,000 plus people who are actually working day in, day out to make content and provide it to you. I think that there's no worry that's going to catch your thought as well, which is wonderful. And for all of those people who are out there who are listening to us as well, who didn't knew about Insta, I think it's about time that you actually get in touch with these people as well, because they're looking for content creators. And if you're there, if you're at if you make sure that you are at that milestone in your life where you can share that content with each and everybody who's out there who will be watching Insta as well, I think it's a wonderful opportunity, which is great. But now I've got a very worrisome question, and this is something which I've realized growing up as well, that in 1990s they used to glamorize, probably drinking alcohol. In all of the Western films or Hollywood or Bollywood, you'll see that, okay, that was the part of a glamour, or a personality which was full of glamour would drink alcohol. Then towards from 2000 till 2010, we started seeing that people were actually, doing drugs. And then now eventually we have seen that people have been taking inspiration from these stories on Netflix and Prime Video about drug cartels and how people used to make a lot of money and all of that as well. So how are you going to keep a strong check on that when you have 20,000 people creating content for you? You need a bigger team.
Yes. Now here comes the economy of the internet.
All right.
So when you create such, we have a code of conduct,
Okay.
which we have researched around more than 38 code of conducts around the world. And then we have identified which is the most suitable code of conduct for Pakistan.
Yeah.
But that doesn't resolve the solution.
Yes.
The solution lies in empowering the community. So if they find something which is objectionable, they can raise a red flag on that.
Okay.
And then we have the editors, internet editors, who can then review that content, and then we can ask the producer whether they can look into this again.
I think it's great, but from the point of view I'm coming to you is that now that people are so used to of such foul content over the internet, it will be a challenge for you to give them an alternative which is as interesting as the content they were watching, because one way or the other you will have to come up with content which actually attracts them, right? So now imagine that, you know, for the kind of films which we watch over Netflix or Prime Video, obviously there are different categories, you know, there are different genres as well, but every now and then you do come across movies which people are watching with more interest, are full of foul language, nudity, you know, probably sex as well, God forbid. And we don't want our kids to see that content, because we're talking about people who are below the age of 30 or 20 itself as well. So how are you going to make the content which is interesting and then avoids all of those nasty things as well?
Well, one way of doing this is, which we are deploying, is to enforce and to implement an artificial intelligence platform.
Okay, wow. Now,
Which
now we're
basically,
talking.
yeah. So what it does is, you can identify which age bracket can view which sort of content.
Yeah.
So if a viewer is below the age of 18, automatically the AI will restrict that content to them.
All right.
So you can also identify in your profile what sort of value system you have.
All right.
So this is a new way of
So everybody's
creating
going to have their own profile.
Yes.
And you're going to get some basic information about who they are, how old they are, and then there will be parental controls, and then you will be giving it out onto the content that, okay, you know, this is for 18 plus, this is for 16 plus, which I think is a brilliant idea as well. Now, let's come down to, do we have to subscribe, or do we have to download this application on our smart television so that we can watch it, or is it just for free?
For the time being, it's free.
Okay.
Yeah, it's available on the.
Is it up on internet?
It's on
now
internet
as we speak?
Yes, on rinstra.com. But you can also download the app on your
Apple
from
or
the Apple
Android.
Store or the Google Play Store. And right now we are offering the subscription free of cost for the time being. But then we will introduce the premium content will be available then. But 80% of the content is free.
Okay.
All the episodes, their first episode are also free.
All right.
So if you really like something,
Yeah.
then you will subscribe, that whether you want to have further.
Exactly, that's great, and I think that there is a business model involved in it as well, and it's a very interesting one, because this is something which I've observed on different platforms, and that is, so you know, you get to see the first episode, and it's just so it just pulls you in as well, and you're like, okay, you know what happened in the next episode. For example, I've been talking about that, you know, probably people who are above the age of 18 need to see this season, which is with the name of The Boys. So the first ever episode I saw, there was this fast, speedy guy who actually, you know, ran through a girl, and she died all of a sudden. And I was like, hey, you know what? I need to watch the next episode. So are you keeping that in your head as well? That, okay, you know, this is how we're going to attract the audiences?
Yeah. And that involves a lot of research.
It does.
Fortunately, most of the research on the internet can be done with the analysis and the analytics. And that is something in Pakistan, what the viewer want to watch has to evolve.
Exactly.
So you can create a lot of narrative around what the people want to watch and what you want to push.
Yeah, and eventually you'll bring them to the point that whatever you'll be making, they'll be like, okay, you know what, if it's on Rinstra, we're going to watch that. And this will be a brand success as well, which is great. But towards the end, one last thing which I wanted to ask before we wrap up this segment, and that is that we've seen over the years, I'm sorry that I actually have to refer to all of those platforms which are readily available as of now, that people have collaborated with, you know, different people with different face values. And obviously, you know, these platforms do rely on the content creators in the first place and the kind of content, and then people who will be playing all of those characters and the kind of fans they have all over the world. So are we going to see collaborations with people from Hollywood, with people from different industries in different parts of the world?
I think that's a great opportunity for Pakistan
Everybody,
to collaborate with
yes.
them, and that is something we are keeping in mind.
All right.
So we are in discussion with international platforms as well to collaborate and come with us and create this. So it can be an exchange program as well. One thing I would like to mention that we are working with some of the international journalism schools as well.
All right.
So on how to create a drama or a film of 10 to 15 seconds through your cell phone only.
Wow.
So you bring down the cost of production for the content.
Yes.
So the more money can go to the content creator rather than going it to the production supply
Yeah,
line.
exactly. That you're taking the camera on rent, and
Yeah.
then lights, and then there's a director, and then there's food for everybody. So obviously, I think that it's a brilliant idea as well. And eventually, in days to come, I think this is going to happen. People obviously will watch films, where there's a lot of cost involved, and then people are more interested in probably witnessing people doing pranks. I mean, for example, P4 Pakau is a whole household name these days as well. And that guy, I think, has done a wonderful job. And everybody deserves to do so as well, take their own initiatives, which is right. And the best part is that you will be paying your content creators. So I think that it's not going to get any better than this for everybody who's out there. But we're going to congratulate you. Thank you very much for joining us. It was wonderful
very much.
to have you, and it was wonderful to have a Pakistani who thinks this way, that Pakistan needs to have their own narrative, may it be at any front as well. So thank you very much, Amir sir, for joining us. It was wonderful to have you. And for all of those people who are out there, ladies and gentlemen, all you actually have to do is that you have to download this application with the name of Rinstra, Rinstra, or just go to rinstra.com and you will know what you have to do. For now, it's for free. And for all of those people who might just, actually download it after the 22nd of December, you might have to pay for the subscription fee as well. And we wish them best of luck. I think each and every Pakistani needs to come up with such a brilliant idea, because these are, ladies and gentlemen, technological entrepreneurial ventures. This is the deal for this era as well. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually going to head out towards a short break. I mean, you guys will come back, since we were speaking to somebody who did something for Pakistan. Now we are actually going to be in conversation after the break, in conversation with somebody who made sure that just by sitting at home, he's going to save a lot of lives during this pandemic. How did he do that? That's a miracle. We will be talking about that, but after a short break. Good morning.
Shai Mosque, or the Royal Mosque in Lahore, commissioned by the sixth Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb in 1671 and completed in 1673, is the second largest mosque in Pakistan and South Asia and the fifth largest mosque in the world. Epitomizing the beauty, passion and grandeur of the Mughal era. It is Lahore's most famous landmark and a major tourist attraction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watching World this morning alongside Shahzad Ahsan Khan. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that you guys are still tuned in, and there's a reason, because, ladies and gentlemen, today we are obviously focusing on all of those people who are pro-Pakistani as well, and they are advocating for Pakistanis to do something better in life, which I think is a great initiative, and it is our responsibility to make sure that we share these success stories. Now, I'll actually have to take you a year back, So what happened was, ladies and gentlemen, that COVID obviously was a very novel coronavirus, as we said. And why do we say so is because of the fact that nobody knew that the kind of destruction it's going to do to the human life. And obviously everybody was paranoid, nobody knew what to do. They were, everybody was thinking about what SOPs to probably introduce so that people can follow and save their lives. But amidst all of this, all of these things happening, we started to lose a lot of lives, a lot of precious lives. And there were people thinking that, probably are we even going to survive? And then all of a sudden there was a conversation that people started to talk whether do we have enough ventilators. In fact, the world started to talk about it, and everybody started producing their own ventilators, machines, oximeters, and all of the stuff which was required to at least kind of, help us with whether we are deteriorating, whether, God forbid, we're going towards the end of our lives, or are we in control. I think there were people, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm very lucky that, I'm going to introduce him to you in a minute's time. But this gentleman, what he did was that, he was sitting at home. He thought that, okay, let me create a platform which is going to help people who have recovered from coronavirus, so that they can actually donate their plasma, because that's what we got to know, that okay, for somebody who's actually recovered from corona, if they donate their plasma can help anybody else fighting COVID as well. Not just that, this gentleman actually made sure that he's going to bridge the gap in between the hospitals as well, because almost all the hospitals, all the facilities were full, ladies and gentlemen, and nobody was able to find a single bed in a hospital. And it was all very messed up. Not just that, this gentleman actually helped a lot of people find and locate ventilators as well. This gentleman made sure that that there were going to be people who've recovered from corona in conversation with people who are suffering from corona, so that they can actually have all of that motivation that okay, alhamdulillah, if they're fine, we're going to be fine too as well. He was on New York Times, he was covered by Reuters, he was covered by BBC, CNN, and so on and so forth. And almost each and everybody all over the world has actually appreciated what this gentleman did. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by a social activist turned into a musician. He is the one and only Mr. Zohrez Riaz. Hello Zohrez, Assalamu Alaikum, good morning.
Hi, thank you so much, Shahzad, for such a lovely introduction. I've been a fan of yours. I've seen you hosting so many shows and concerts, so it is indeed an honor for me to be here.
It is an honor for us to have you over here. For us, you're actually like a superhero as well, and that too amidst COVID as well. Now, first things first, because we're short on time, so I want you to speak your heart out.
Yeah.
How did you come up with this idea that okay, you know what, it's chaos all over the country, all over the world. Let me figure out a way where I can actually just make sure that people are going to communicate with all of those people who are suffering from this disease. So please go ahead.
So basically, in the first wave, there was a lot of paranoia. People really wanted some support. People really wanted to understand how to cope up with the crisis that is going on. And I wanted to create a platform, obviously, that was available to masses. And we have a lot of people available on Facebook. So I wanted to create a platform somewhere, where the masses can interact. And this was the motivation behind it, that the term warriors was used for the corona recovered people, because they're actually warriors. They've fought the pandemic, and they're now out of it. So that term was basically motivating the corona recovered people to come on board, to join the forum, donate their plasmas, as well as support the ones who are currently going through COVID. So that was the main motive, helping people mitigate the crisis, and to basically provide everything related to COVID on this platform.
Exactly, and I think that you've done a wonderful job as well, but it definitely took a lot of time.
Yes.
It definitely took a lot of energy. It definitely took a lot of people to come together and do all of those things, because I've seen this one video over the internet where, probably it was your house or some office space where there were other friends of yours sitting all day long onto their laptops, making sure that people have access to right things as well. So how did all of that happen? How did your friends come in? How did you do that?
So basically, since we had this forum made on the third day, it crossed over 40 or 50,000 members.
Yeah.
Up until 60,000, I was managing it all by myself. But beyond that, I thought I need to add somebody to the moderatorship of this group, so that it can be a bit easier
And he or
for
she
me.
needs to be as responsible as you are so far.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I made a set of rules for them. You have to approve certain posts and you have to decline other posts. So I made my obviously you go for your siblings on the first line. I added my brother and my sister to
Yeah.
the admin list, and then I called for volunteers across the forum as well, and I called my cousins and all my friends for the forum. So basically, everyone jumped in because all of them wanted to help. And Pakistan's blood has this thing. Pakistanis really love to help anyone who's helpless, and basically that movement was to support anyone in need, and that happened quickly. We have now crossed over 3,31,000 members, and probably it is the world's largest COVID support portal on Facebook. So that is, probably I think we have done something for this crisis.
And you've done a wonderful job as well. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to share a few pictures with you guys where it was just not on a Facebook platform, but they actually went on ground as well. What did they do? I think this is something which we really need to share. It's a very inspiring story. Please, Hassan, can we have the pictures? Yes, please go ahead. Tell us about every picture we're going to play. So ration bags and everything.
So basically, he was provided a wheelchair. Then we provided them a few sewing machines. This lot was for the transgenders, and then we had a few volunteers in Umarkot Sindh who said that there's a flood going on and we need to support people. They're jobless and they need some ration over there. We provided them with help, and then we before the tourism sector opened, we provided KN95 masks all over Pakistan up till Khunjara Pass, and then we went to the police offices. We donated a lot of PPE kits and KN95 masks to the frontline policemen, on the roads and in the offices, dealing with the general public. So that was the main motive, to support.
You didn't leave
everyone.
anyone behind. May it be our police, may it be anybody in any region, may it be the transgenders, may it be the kids. They made sure that it's going to be inclusive, and their group was. But when we're talking about donations and
Yeah.
asking people for donations, and
Yeah.
that too on a Facebook platform,
Yeah.
it raises a lot of question marks. But
Yes.
people did put their trust in you, and they were like, okay, if this gentleman's doing it, let's just support him. So, were there any difficulties and challenges involved as well?
Initially, yes, because people came forward and they just donated us oxygen cylinders, oximeters, KN95 masks, and then they said, just go on, distribute it to the people.
Yeah.
What I did was I made sure every donor was given a set of pictures that this equipment of yours has been donated to this person. That helped me gain some trust.
So,
And that
what
overall
about
process.
your family? Weren't they like, hey, you know what, there's COVID outside,
Yeah.
every day, you're going outside helping people, it's good,
Yeah.
but you have to look after yourself as well. So was there this concern with all of the
So-
activity you were involved in?
Yeah, Shahzad, I would like to tell you this. I have oxygen cylinders placed at my home.
Okay.
COVID patients directly come to my home and then pick up all these cylinders and then go back. And I have to personally, verify each case. I have to pick up their ID cards as well.
Yeah.
So, that is a bit thrilling, but a bit challenging, but
Bit risky as well.
Yeah, very risky. But this probably makes me a better Pakistani. Probably a Pakistani who really wanted to do something for the soil, and this is the moment. Probably I think I was needed, and my team of volunteers was needed. Probably every Pakistani on the forum was needed.
Yeah.
So
Exactly, that's true as well. And ladies and gentlemen, for all of that Zuraiz Riaz did in these difficult times, and he's still continuing to do so. In fact, the entire industry came up and they were like, hey, you know what, you're doing a great job and we really want to support you as well. So everybody, each and every Pakistani, in fact, did extend all kinds of help as well for whoever could. So I think what we're going to do is that we are actually going to share a few of the video messages people and the celebrities have sent in for Zore's, Riaz, and the page Corona Recovered Warriors as well. So can we have them? I think the first one's from Afan. Yeah. Can we take a listen?
तस्वीर हैं वो सब आप इख्तियार कर रहे होंगे. अच्छा, फेसबुक पे जुरेज़ रियाज साहब ने एक ग्रुप बनाया है कोरोना रिकवर्ड वॉरियर्स के नाम से. अब वो क्या कर रहे हैं कि जो कोरोना के रिकवर्ड पेशेंट्स हैं उनके ब्लड में से प्लाज्मा लेके कोरोना के जो क्रिटिकल पेशेंट्स हैं उनमें जब इंजेक्ट करते हैं तो वो बहुत जल्दी रिकवर कर रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक इस सिचुएशन में हम सबको एक दूसरे की मदद करनी चाहिए. तो आप में से जो भी कोरोना के रिकवर्ड पेशेंट्स हैं वो प्लीज़ इस ग्रुप को ज्वाइन करें, वहाँ पर आएँ, और अगर आप डोनेट कर सकते हैं ब्लड तो प्लीज़ ज़रूर कीजिए, ताकि बाकी लोग भी जल्द से जल्द जो इस बीमारी से सफ़र कर रहे हैं जल्द से जल्द सेहतयाब हो जाएं.
आपके 45 मिनट्स किसी इंसान की जान बचा सकते हैं. अगर आपको कोविड-19 था और आप फुली रिकवर हो चुके हैं तो आप अपना प्लाज्मा डोनेट कर सकते हैं उन लोगों को जो वेंटिलेटर्स पे हैं और अपनी जानों के लिए लड़ रहे हैं. इट्स 100% सेफ प्रोसीजर. फेसबुक पे एक ग्रुप है कोरोना रिकवर्ड वॉरियर्स, उसे ज्वाइन करें एंड सेव लाइव्स टुडे.
कोरोना से बचाव की जितनी भी.
And ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why we're sharing these videos with you again as well, because now we're experiencing the second wave where there's 18% expectancy of corona patients in Karachi only. So imagine that, God forbid, once again, we will have to go through that kind of turmoil as well and that kind of chaos where people will be short of such supplies as well. So very quickly, Zore's, before we touch upon how good of a musician you are, how many lives have you touched? For how many people have you arranged plasma? For how many people have you arranged ventilators? And how many people were helped on ground with different supplies?
So basically, we had a collective analysis of the posts in the group, and on these posts, we were mainly, we had a lot of different questions, mainly ranging from the medical queries to different COVID essential requirements. So we probably had around 22 or 23,000 queries on the forum, and we have been able to resolve around 17,000 of them.
Wow.
And in the last 5 or 6 months, and beyond that, probably our group reach was close to 8 lakh to 1 million people,
Wow, yeah, and it's wonderful, and I fall short of words. I mean, I really do not know how to extend my gratitude for the kind of service you provided.
Thank you so much.
To all of those Pakistanis who are out there as well, which is great. Now, very quickly, just one last thing before we touch upon the music aspect of yours, and that is and this is something which annoys me quite a lot. Now we see that the post would be like 3,000 comments, probably 4,000 shares, and 10,000 likes, which is good to see, whenever we go or see a post from Corona Recovered Warriors. But majority of the people, they write B or bump.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why do they do so. Does it really make it reach to another extra million people? How does it work? And do you like the I mean, obviously, for somebody sitting at home who cannot help, writing bump, does it help?
So basically, it does help. Yeah. So we obviously encourage putting dots instead of bump, because the one who's posting on the forum, he's not able to see the comments between the bumps.
Yeah.
A bump really helps reach masses, but instead of bump, you should put dots so that the one who's posting can actually see the useful comments in between all the dots over there.
So that's why people write bump, but you want them to actually put in dots.
Basically, the people who cannot do anything physically, they try to support them just through a dot, and it means a lot.
Exactly, it does mean a lot as well, because they're taking out time, and whatever they can do in their capacity, they're doing so as well. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you so much.
We really do not want Pakistan to actually be on the verge again where, God forbid, ventilators were short, beds were short, or, supplies were short because there were lockdowns. Thanks to Imran Khan, because of his vision, ladies and gentlemen, that we have this smart lockdown policy going on. I think it has helped a lot of people to kind of regain their businesses if, God forbid, they were going down as well. And I think that this strategy has been adopted by a lot of other countries as well, just because of the fact that it was such a smart solution, which our Premier, Alhamdulillah, came up with as well. Now, since we're only left with 3-4 minutes,
All right.
very quickly,
Sure.
when did you leave for a voyage which was going to be so musical for you? How many songs have you released so far, and what are you going to share with us today?
So basically, I was a musician since 2012.
Wow.
And I released my first song in collaboration with Shiraz Uppal and Yasir Jaswal.
Good.
And then we released our second song in 2014. Now, probably because of this group, I haven't been able to do anything else. But before that, I joined Lumps, and that was a bit of a challenging experience. I am going to release a few songs in the next couple of months. That was basically my dream to be a
And we're
musician.
going to wish you best of luck as well.
Thank you
and,
so much.
and since you've done such a wonderful job, you're more than welcome every now and then, whenever you release a song, whenever you have to be on television, share something with people.
Sure.
This is your own platform. You're more than welcome as well. So
Thank
what
you
I'm
so
going to
much.
do is I'm going to wrap the show up,
Sure.
and then you're going to lead us out with one of your songs. All right?
Okay, right.
Can we do that?
Perfect.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody who's out there, it was our humble effort to make sure that we bring in such examples who are going to inspire a million other people to do something of their own, to stand on their feet and be confident and be resilient and be a part of this resilient nation, ladies and gentlemen. Pakistanis are never going to stop in terms of progression, and we will continue to survive or strive for excellence as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Daily Motion and YouTube, it's World This Morning. And the fabulous repeat is going to be at 5 past midnight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3. Good morning. Over to you, bro.
Thank you so much. This is my song Dil Ko Tumne Hai Toda, which was released in 2014.
This is this.
दिल को तुमने है तोड़ा, मन भी अब है अधूरा, कैसे ये बतलाएं तुझको यार। तेरे झूठे वो वादे समझा ना मैं इरादे, मन भागे क्यों छोड़ दिया दामन। दिल मेरा कहने लगा क्यों तेरे संग निभाई यारी, तेरे सिवा ना कोई था मेरा। मरने लगा चलने लगा क्यों छोड़ा सा तूने ओ यारा, तू ही बता जीने की वजह। मैं चाहूँ तुझे, मैं मांगू तुझे, ओ तेरा खुमार, तेरा नशा, तेरी जगह ना कोई आ सका। मैं चाहूँ तुझे, मैं मांगू तुझे, ओ दिल को तुमने है तोड़ा, मन भी अब है अधूरा, कैसे ये बतलाएं तुझको यार। तेरे झूठे वो वादे समझा ना मैं इरादे, मन भागे क्यों छोड़ दिया दामन।